1917 is one of the most immersive cinematic experiences I have ever had. 1917 was directed by Sam Mendes, who also directed movies like Skyfall and Spectre, the last two James Bond movies. Skyfall was amazing. I love that movie. It's very near and dear to my heart. Spectre was okay. It just felt like it had a lot of weak elements in it. But 1917 is another step in the Skyfall direction. 1917 is a truly cinematic achievement. And that's because this whole movie is shot to look like it is one continuous shot. There are a couple breaks in there that are put there on purpose, but they just hide a lot of their cuts where they're moving between scenes as the camera's moving. But it's all supposed to look like it is one continuous story while you're following these two British soldiers in World War I. This method of shooting a film in one take has been done before recently by Birdman, and that won Best Picture in 2015. And that one focuses more on like this Broadway-centered story with these people in show business. There's some supernatural elements in it, and it's kind of more of just like a stylistic choice on their part. But I felt like shooting this movie in one take, 1917, was just such a great decision because it just plays out like a story. Someone's telling you a story about what happened, a war story. And it is just so immersive, just following these guys and their little conversations and these big moments of tension as they're going across enemy lines where they don't know if the Germans are hiding anywhere or if they're still there, if they've retreated. There are just all these moments where the way that they shot it just played perfectly into the tone of the film. And this movie can stand on its own just because of the technical achievements of how it was made to look like one shot, and then also with the cinematography by the cinematographer Roger Deakins. You probably might not know him, but he does a lot of great work. He's done work with Blade Runner 2049. He did work with Skyfall and a lot of great other films. I think he also did No Country for Old Men. He's a great cinematographer, and he does some of his best work in this film. So this movie is just all around a great experience. It's very visually pleasing. You know, a lot of times you're seeing things that aren't pleasant to see, such as, you know, a lot of things you would imagine in a war scenario. But everything is shot to perfection. But not only does this movie stand on its technical achievements, as I said, I think the strongest part of this film is actually just down to its core, just the story. And the story of this film, if you've seen the trailer, you pretty much know. It's just about these two British soldiers who are given the task of telling another group of soldiers in the British Army that are chasing down these Germans. They have to go tell them that it's a trap. They're retreating so that they can ambush them, and you're going to lose a lot of men. So they have to go on this mission to inform that group of soldiers to not attack and to save their men for another battle. And within that group of soldiers is one of those two soldiers' brother, so there's a connection there. And one of the greatest aspects of these characters is that they both feel very authentic, and that goes along with how this movie is shot. Since you're spending a long, uninterrupted time with them, there's all these little conversations, and with it, it feels like it's a lot of improvisation. I know it's not, but it just feels like that because these conversations are, you know, very tied to their character with what you're learning about them and learning about a little bit of their worldview, and also seeing them when they are put in danger where they, don't feel safe at all. You just see how they're able to sacrifice for each other and just the kind of men that they are. It's really interesting this year in movies. I felt like there were some incredibly positive masculine movies, which I feel like there's not a lot of nowadays. We don't have a ton of positive male role models, I don't think. But I think with this movie, it was just a perfect example of what being a good, strong man is. And these characters aren't just so idealistic where they are only representing one worldview. They are very dynamic and they change throughout this movie. There are just a lot of trials that they have to go through and ways that they're challenged, and it's really incredible. This movie just comes across as someone's war story. And at the very end of the film, Sam Mendes dedicates this to, I believe, his grandfather, and it just fits so well. I felt like this movie just came across as if it was your great-grandfather, your grandfather sitting down and telling you about these events that happened. It just comes across as a first-hand experience, and this movie, it just really gripped me in a very personal way. You know, it hit me on every emotional note that it should. And there were just so many moments where I just, you know, just sat there and I was like in awe of what was created. And that's what's really cool about movies. You know, I don't want to say that like movies are super important part of our lives, like they're life changing. It's like, no, movies generally are something that we can come down, sit, entertain ourselves, enjoy together, and something that we can talk about, something we really, you know, can come to love. But, you know, so a movie like this, it just goes high and far above in the artistic field of just reaching like almost like a transcendent level where it's capturing like the human spirit in a wartime, where we're able to see like people who are normal human people, but they are, you know, fighting for something a lot better than themselves, or they're sacrificing for their friends, or, you know, they just do some incredibly heroic actions, and it just really moves you. And that's what I felt in 1917, and I haven't felt that way in a movie in a really long time. 1917 is a masterpiece.
You bow to no one.
Thank you guys for stopping by and watching my review of 1917. If you could, please press the like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you also could press the notification and the subscribe button, you'll be notified when I release all of my new videos. And then you could also follow me on Instagram at Jared Gilster. I know a lot of people don't have YouTube accounts, so maybe they're not able to subscribe or, you know, get the notifications. So if you follow me on Instagram and you use Instagram a lot, I post when I'm going to be releasing new videos, and you can see me there. But other than that, I'll just see you guys next time.